Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everyone. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. We'll do a quick weather for Weather Geeks this evening, pre-Thanksgiving edition, and thankfully things are going to improve in a big way for Thanksgiving because today wasn't great. As expected, we had the clouds, we had a little bit of drizzle from time to time, and temperatures hardly moved all day. In fact, we reached our warmest point just after midnight. We spent most of the midday and afternoon kind of hovering around 41 or 42 degrees. But other than the incessant drizzle that was out there today, some good news in the weather department because a lot of people, are hitting the roads and the airports today, and the weather did cooperate other than the low clouds. We didn't have any storms, we didn't have any winter weather, and as of this recording, we are still showing 0 delays at a lot of our regional airports. And nationally, actually, it's been a pretty cooperative day in the weather department with very few weather-related problems at most of our major hubs, from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast today. And yeah, the radar is kind of bears out that idea that the weather certainly cooperated today with hardly anything going on across the lower 48 states. We had some rain this morning in the East Coast cities, but it was nothing all that heavy and no storms. We did have some thunderstorms for a while in parts of the Carolinas this afternoon that led to a few delays around Charlotte, but that was kind of the exception. Most of the country has been awfully decent. Our weather, though, just kind of gloomy. With the clouds, we've had the drizzle lingering into this evening. The last of the raindrops will fade away before the evening is through. We still have some incessant light rain and drizzle from East Palestine and Unity over towards Bessemer and Elwood City and Newcastle, places like that. Those are some of the last places that we'll see the raindrops this evening. The clouds are still thick. They're still low. But as we go through the overnight, and especially into tomorrow morning, I'm expecting the clouds to clear out, and that means, of course, much better things are ahead for Thanksgiving. I borrow this liberally every year from one of my mentors at my previous job. My first job out of college was at AccuWeather over in Central PA, and one of the greats there, one of the all-time legends there, Elliot Abrams, who just retired a few years ago, long, distinguished career at AccuWeather, and he's a real wordsmith as in addition to being a fantastic meteorologist, and he would always come up with really clever ways to communicate the weather. And this was his Thanksgiving spiel every year, and I kind of borrowed it. The indoor forecast, if you will, hot and humid, of course, in the kitchen, with 1 inch, maybe 2 inches of turkey accumulation. If you're particularly hungry, maybe you'll squeeze out 3 inches of accumulation on your plate. But there'll be high pressure to eat those leftovers, that is for sure, as we go into Friday and the rest of the weekend. Scattered soup advisory, perhaps needed for the rest of the holiday weekend. Always enjoy that one. All right. So the weather improves in a big way for Thursday. Now, cold front's on the map, but no moisture to squeeze out with this. It'll come through with little fanfare late Thursday into Thursday night, and then we're left with clouds and limited sunshine for a lot of Friday and Saturday. Occasionally there'll be some sunny intervals, but just kind of ho-hum weather for a lot of the time Friday and into Saturday, with high pressure, a dirty high, if you will. We don't mean anything salacious by that, but we sometimes call it a dirty high when you have an area of high pressure, but there's clouds still present in the atmosphere despite that sinking air that we usually associate with high pressure. That dirty high will build into the Midwest and won't do us a whole lot of good because, again, we'll see only limited intervals of sunshine on Saturday. Now, the Penguin game day forecast for Saturday evening is chilly, but hey, it's late November, and this is pretty much par for the course. Lower and middle 30s under a partly to mostly cloudy sky. No rain, no snow for that playoff game as YSU takes on Duquesne Saturday evening. We'll end the weekend with probably a little bit of rain. Sunday afternoon, maybe a few snowflakes in the mix as that precipitation pushes in. Later Sunday afternoon, maybe a couple of flurries into early next week. And it looks pretty cold next week as a lot of people head back to work and school Monday through at least Wednesday. You see all the blues here. Below average temperatures definitely favored in the 6 to 10 day period. As we go deeper into the longer range, though, some moderation. Now, I'm not seeing a real blowtorchy warm December pattern through the next 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe by weeks 3 and 4, we may start to see that pattern develop. And again, we're expecting a mild December overall. But while it may not be a blowtorchy kind of pattern, if you will, generally a lack of cold in the pattern should be noted for at least the first couple of weeks of the month. And generally this is a pretty uneventful pattern as well. You'll notice no big green hues over our part of the country in the longer range. Not a particularly active pattern. Pretty darn dry, in fact, next week. And beyond that, while there will be some precipitation at times, it doesn't look excessively active, at least through the first week to possibly 2 weeks or so of the month of December. That'll do it for me on weather for Weather Geeks tonight. Hope you and yours have a great Thanksgiving holiday. No Weather Geeks Thursday and Friday. I'll see you right back here on Monday, so have a great Thanksgiving and a great holiday weekend.